Hello everyone, this is Sarah with Quantum Healing with the Angels, and I have a new episode for you today. We're right in the middle of Lionsgate, and I feel great right now. I hope other people are feeling this energy. It feels so good to me. So anyway, I know everybody's having struggles, but I hope that this is lightening your burdens a little bit right now. So today, because it's been a while, we did a channeling, and I tried to make it a little bit longer than usual. And we had a new angel come through, so that was kind of fun. And then all these other people started popping in too, so that made it even more fun. I think you'll like it. There's one kind of joke that I want to just tell you guys what it's about. So there is a show that we watch called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm sure some of you out there have heard of it. And of course, Travis's higher self is always making jokes. Sometimes he refers to things that we watch. So there's a joke in this channeling about the guy in that show whose name is Chester. Now, Chester is a guy who Susie meets when they are up in the Catskills. He is the guy that basically knows that she is walking around with a plunger, pretending to be a plumber who works there when she's not. She doesn't really work there. And he doesn't really work there either. And so he catches on to what she's doing right away, which makes her kind of like nervous. And so every time he sees her, he says this thing. He goes, crisscross, crisscross. He's trying to tell her like they're very like-minded. And so there is a joke in here where I kind of died laughing. Anyway, that's what they were referring to. So you can find it by looking up Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and just look up crisscross along with that and you'll find it. It's really funny. So yeah, I just wanted to explain what that meant, and Travis actually had already heard that in one of his dreams. He heard crisscross. I think that means that some of the things I'm doing, he will be doing, and vice versa. So it is exciting. Anyway, a lot of the things we talked about are things that I wrote down for the classes that we're having on Sundays usually. These are our Q&A with the Angels meetings that we're doing. They are getting to be a lot of fun. I would love to see some of you guys in these classes. It is really fun meeting new people and seeing how they interact with the angels. There are connections being made. It is fascinating. I'm used to them doing it with me because I'm usually the one asking questions, but now we still put our questions in the chat, but we go one by one. And so you can ask questions during the class and talk to whichever angel has come through. A lot of the time it's Archangel Uriel, but sometimes they mix it up and people pop in. You never know what's going to happen. Last time, Source was there for part of it. So that was really special, actually. So if there's anything you want to ask, you need to get answers about, or you just, want to know what's happening in the world right now, what to expect in the future, if you want a group of people who, a real support group, not one of those big awakening groups, so many people in those, like a soul group or I can't say for sure it will be that, but it certainly feels like that now. It's like we're a family. So I know that I wanted that, so some other people must want that too. If you have any questions about it, drop me an email. I'm happy to talk to you about it. And we even set it up so if you support us with, it's like $7.77 per month to support us. And if you do that, you get half off of the classes that we have. So 50% off makes it a really good price. Also, supporting us is so appreciated. We would love to get another microphone, and there's a mixer thing that you have to get to when you have 2 microphones. But we really want to be in the same room together when we do these classes. Right now we're having to split it up because of, technology, basically. And so that, things we need to buy, and then just the cost of doing the podcasts, we really appreciate when people support us. And this way we can give you something back as well. So let me know if you have any questions, and I will put the information in the show notes for you. And just remember, it is Sunday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So adjust that to whatever your time zone is. Actually, I take that back. It will be at 4:45 p.m. this week, Mountain Standard Time. All right. I think that's it. It's kind of a synchronous channeling or episode because it is episode number 33. So we will get started right now with episode 33 of Quantum Healing with the Angels.
Is this still the way it works? Wow, this is amazing.
Is this someone new?
Yes.
Who is?
It's amazing. Thank you for letting me come. Wow. Who is here?
This is Sarah.
This is Archangel Scalisi. He let me come in. Thank you.
I've never met you before.
Wow. This is amazing. This really feels... I love this.
Well, gosh, I'm excited. I was just thinking about that and wondering why other angels didn't come in. Because I know there's so many.
There are many that wants to come through this being because we can speak so freely. There are a lot of angels that want to speak through this being because he speaks so clearly and freely. So he wants to have this experience, and I can feel everything. This is beautiful.
I'm excited that you're here.
I am very. This is amazing. It's amazing. If I could cry, I would, but I can't. I am very happy to be here. I finally get to speak.
Yes. But tell me again, how do you say your name?
I am Archangel Scalisi.
Scalisi, okay. So you haven't done this before?
No, I have not.
Wow. Do you have any specialty as an archangel, or do you just do everything?
I am the Archangel of Happiness.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
And he chose me to come through because it is happiness.
Oh, now I'm gonna cry because I've been feeling so happy. The last few days, I've been feeling so happy. They're happy tears. Oh,
so is there any information that you would like?
Oh, always. Yes. Let's see. What can I ask you? Well, tell me first, as the Archangel of Happiness, what do you do? How, do you bring in happiness to people when they need it?
Yes, I do that all the time. Most archangels can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is my favorite thing to do, so I...
Okay.
I guess you can say I do specialize in it.
Okay. Do you look generally like an orb, or is there a special way that you prefer to look?
We all look like balls of light, but we can choose forms. I prefer the female form.
Okay.
And I like the pretty blonde-haired women, so I look like your basic blonde-haired angel if that's what they want to see.
Wow.
So that is why I like to show myself to some people.
Oh, that's neat. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, well, that's good to know. So you bring people happiness when they need it, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever form they wish.
Wonderful. That's exciting. It feels like there's a shift happening right now of happiness coming in.
Yes, because it is that time of year that the happiness flows in.
Yeah.
I guess you have a certain name for it, but...
Mm-hmm. Is it the portal, the Lionsgate portal, or does that have anything?
Oh, yes, that is what you Earthlings call it. But it is not necessarily a portal. It is just a bunch of light that gets filtered in from these beings from another planet called Lyrians. The Lyrians have this device that they can shine through the galaxy and the universe, and that light and positive energy happens to go through your solar system. It is very, very wide, and it goes through a certain speck of the universe, and your solar system happens to be in that area. So it's not necessarily on your planet per se. It is on the whole solar system that shines through. It also breaks through what you call your matrix as well, which is why you seem like you have so much happiness in that spare of time.
Yeah.
And someone on your planet called it that because they saw the beings that do it. The main beings that look like the lions, the Lyrians have different kinds of cat beings on their planet. The lion ones are usually the leaders, so that is why they probably call it what you call it, because it is the being that they saw when they thought about the light shining through. They call it the Lion's Gate. Some people call it the Lion's Portal because someone saw one of the beings that activated that device.
Oh, wow. Wow. Are they in the Sirius planets?
They are in that area.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I definitely felt the difference since that happened. And also this week had a big burst of mediumship just opened up, and they called it, I think they were teasing me during the whole thing. I think they called it a blast or a burst.
Yeah, that is what it feels like when it hits your planet.
Yeah.
It is almost like a free pass for everyone on your planet to get their gifts. And they do it every time this time of the year.
Oh.
Don't know why they pick this time of the year. That is just part of the year that they pick to shine that energy on your planet every year.
Yeah.
That is when everybody gets a free pass to notice that they have gifts, and they all get gifts. Sometimes they get messages, sometimes they get symbols from other alien beings, but it's almost like a free pass for them to get everything. And Source has agreed to let them do that, because that is like, it is a gift to give everyone so they can see what they are being lied to, also for them to get their gifts so they can expand on their gifts and notice things. Sometimes they might see other beings walk around, like you call ghosts, or any other beings that are in other dimension. It almost opens up the fifth dimension even larger, so other things can be seen as well. So there will be a lot of sightings, a lot of things.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, anything can happen in this span. Between this day and your day that you call your Sunday, it is going to be a lot of things going on, and then it will disappear again after that date, because they will turn the device off.
After Sunday, yes. Yes, I had. Well, they said I had the gift already, but I was kind of blocking it because I was so worried about everything.
Yes.
And
people will still probably worry after it's over because the Matrix will be full blast again. But people will remember the things that they felt these next few days, and it will stay with them, and it will help them be stronger.
Good. Oh, wow, that's cool. Yeah, that thing that happened to me was, well, I got one more thing taken care of that was worrying me, and right after that, it was like it just went through my whole body, and it went on for hours in the car, and then it kept going and going and going into the night.
Yes.
And I talked to everybody.
You were getting all kinds of messages, and
I did.
It was broadening your perspective on everything earthly, and your meditation and your mediumship. What?
Oh no. I know what he's saying. It's Larry, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I had a feeling.
He is very funny.
Yeah, did he say something about an extra large?
Yes, he did, actually.
Yes, he did. I knew he did. That's
very funny.
He is very funny.
You will have all of those gifts and they will get stronger.
Oh boy, I talked to everybody. I think I talked to the Pleiadians. I talked to my friend's higher self. I talked to a cat who had passed over.
Yes, that is a big thing because you will be able to speak with the animals as well. You will actually be able to channel the animals just as good as this being can. So you both can do it. So it doesn't matter who does it, but you will both be able to do it.
Well, let me ask you, this little cat who passed, his name is Luna, and her mom has been talking to me. She wanted to know some things about why did she pass. She's only 6 years old. And so I talked to her, and I was just getting so many things happening, and I was so shocked that I couldn't remember everything to ask, but I asked how she was feeling and what happened, and she said her legs got weak and she couldn't stand.
Oh, yes.
And then something about her blood and her heart.
Yes.
And I asked if it was poison, because her mom thought maybe that, and she said no.
Yes, let me ask.
Okay.
Okay, it's here. It ran up to me.
Oh.
It can hear everything. It's ready.
Hi, Luna.
The cat was in pet ages 6 years old is 6 years old in human years is around the late 50s, but it had internal problems and muscle problems. But the pet is saying it signed up to pass away at that time. So yes, I understand.
Was there a stomach problem as well? The doctor said maybe that.
Yes, and there was something in the stomach, but it signed up to die at that time.
Right.
It is. Yes, I hear you, and it is saying it is waiting for her. It is not going to come back as a human. It doesn't want to. It wants to come back as another pet for her.
Yeah.
So it is. Yes, it is telling me to tell you to tell the woman to get another pet, and it will go inside of that pet.
Okay.
So it's telling me, yes, it's telling me to tell her to give you that message, and
yeah,
yes, and it is ready.
And I asked her why did they plan it that way, and she said so that her mom would understand that she could come back and she could tell others about that.
Yes, she
teach them. Is that right?
She is telling me she planned it that way because she knew that she was going to meet you, and you will be able to tell her that. Nobody else could tell her that because nobody else understands how these things work. You are specializing in how these things work, and that, yes, I understand. And she's saying that she wanted to talk to you so you can tell her that And yes.
Does she want to talk a little bit?
And the mom's no.
Come through a little bit, and then maybe we can talk to her mom again later. But does she want to just say hi to her mom? No?
She is just giving me the information because you only need the information.
We'll wait then.
But she did say if the mom wanted to speak to her, or you can facilitate that for her, and she will do it.
Okay. All right. So, and she said she didn't suffer, which is what you guys tell us.
Yes, she's telling me that she wanted to go at that time, and but she also told me she wasn't in pain. She was a little achy with the muscles. And yes, I don't understand. And she said, yes, she said she's sorry that she threw up and everything, but she couldn't eat anything at the time because she wasn't really hungry, but she was eating it because she thought that her mom wanted her to eat it, so she ate it, but she wasn't hungry, and she threw it back up. But that's just what she's telling me to tell her. But she says she will be happy to speak with her mom if with your help, if you wanted.
Yeah.
And, she will come. But she's saying to hurry for her to get another pet. But she wants to speak to her first. Okay. Before she gets another pet, she will be happy to.
So she wants to come back soon, pretty soon.
Yes, and I understand.
Oh, that's exciting.
And she's saying to do it quickly because she remembers some things. But some things.
Oh, I see.
Some things are starting to fade. And she wants to speak to her now while it's still in there because she might ask her a question and she might not
remember. Yeah. They told us.
Yes, I understand. She says she remembers some of the toys, but some of the toys are disappearing and she doesn't remember what toys.
Yeah, I was going to ask her about the toys and I didn't get much.
Yes, and then I understand. She said, but when she does pick another pet, all her memories from being in the other pet body will return. And it'll be almost like she never left.
Okay. And she said the new pet will be healthier.
Yes?
Yes. Okay. Yes. The new pet body. Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Luna.
Yes.
We'll talk to your mom then really soon. Okay. Thank you for that.
Oh, I understand.
Is there something else?
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love talking to you as well. Uriel said he wants to come in to answer the other question.
Okay.
But I am very happy that I even got to do this. Maybe I can do it again.
Yes. We love happiness, and thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome. Okay, I will step aside. And here I am. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
We let her come in because she was so excited. There's a lot of angels that want to come through this body, but I want to give the information myself.
Well, we've been feeling it. I've been feeling it. The happiness. Oh, it's so nice.
Yes, she specializes in happiness. So I said, well, it makes more sense to let you go in since you specialize in happiness so you can let people know what is happening to their bodies.
So this Lionsgate thing, is there any other time of year when there's a burst of happiness? Or is it just this one?
It is just this one time in the Earth's rotation because around this time is when everyone is starting to transfer into, we call it the more happier times. Is your weather on your planet is slowly starting to change. This is the time of year when people try to get more perspective on what they're going to do for the rest of this year.
Okay.
So this is the time we chose because it is just the best time to do it, and Source told the Lyrians that they could use their device, which is a spiritual device, to bring in more happiness through the universe, which your solar system is right in the middle of that happiness device. So it is not just on your planet what is. All this has happened
That's some cool technology.
It is actually stronger on other planets because the other planets don't have a matrix.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed, though, a lot of people saying that they were, not everybody, but a lot of people saying they're feeling better right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. What did I want to ask you? Well, I already asked about... Well, there wasn't much to ask about the mediumship. It was wonderful. It just was wonderful. So, do a lot of us, because of our worry, it's not like a block.
Yes, I understand, but you have to let us finish this sentence.
He always wants the food during it. We'll do it after, honey. We'll do it after, I promise. What was I saying? Oh, do a lot of us, through our worry, kind of keep our gifts from just bursting out like it did the other day?
Yes, because you're concentrating more on your worry,
right,
and you're not concentrating on gifts and helping other people.
Well, if we do that light language thing we're going to do on Sunday, we're going to do it in a group and layer it. And we're going to do that because everyone's having struggles, one kind or another, whether it's health or money or whatever. And I think that might help. That
will help a lot. That is the perfect way to start it off.
Oh, and people are learning that within a day. It's happening so fast. I'm so excited.
Yes, you are getting more notice for what you are doing. We know it took a while, but it is starting to, what you say, heat up.
And one friend, she got it in a day, and it sounds so beautiful. I mean, it doesn't matter how it sounds, but it's so exciting. It's so exciting.
Yes.
And meeting new people that are coming into the group that I can tell, they need to be there and are excited. And anyway, that's all very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering, why do we sometimes see a double sun right now?
When people see that is more like an optical illusion, just like when you see certain things on the water. It has that same effect. Sometimes people see boats on the water. It looks like they're floating. But it is just an optical illusion about the way the light hits some things.
Wow.
So there are no two suns.
Is there a kind of does the Matrix create a dome sort of thing over the Earth?
Yes, and that is part of the optical illusion as well.
Because some people pick up on that.
Yes.
And I wasn't sure. So that's real.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So that dome, gosh, they could project anything onto that dome, couldn't they?
Yes. Wow. And it's actually inside of the dome, and it reflects off of what you call your sky, and that's how you can see two suns sometimes, because it's just a light hitting in a certain way, and it looks like it's two suns, but it's still only one.
Okay. But I do see a lot of light is coming in right now. I do have seen that.
Yes.
From the sun. Okay, thank you. We were watching some superhero movies, and we were wondering, why are they showing so many superhero movies at this? You'd almost think that would awaken people, unless they're doing it to try to get people to become like a superhero through ways that are not spiritual. Is that something you can tell me or not?
There are clues being sent through that cinema to give people kind of, it's giving them their ideas that there are a lot of things in your planet that is going on, and they're kind of being sneaky about it and putting it in your cinema. Now, you would think that the evil ones that you call, or sneaky people, would know that is going on. And why would they let them do that?
Right. That's what I couldn't figure out.
Well, the thing is they have control over most things. And yes, they can put thoughts in some people's heads. So you would think they would take those thoughts out of those people's heads before they put it in the movies. But they're not super powerful enough to stop it all.
Okay.
But they also trust in themselves how they brainwash people, which most of the time it is still working. A lot of people will watch the movies and they have no idea that they're getting clues from those movies. They still think it's what you call fantasy.
Okay.
So it's people like you are the only ones that can get them to believe that. But unfortunately, their beliefs has got them so far into the matrix that they won't believe what you say. So some people will get it, but most people won't.
Okay. I had a weird dream the other night, and it didn't seem like a real dream, but I'm not, who knows anymore, where I was able to levitate, and then I was able to walk through a wall. I've never had dreams like that before. Was that anything unusual, or is it just a dream?
It was a dream, but it was still, that was also a hint of what you could do if you were not totally in the matrix.
Okay.
So it's the same thing as watching a movie, but the only thing was different is you were in the movie. So it is giving you clues of what you should be able to do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was neat. And then Travis is getting some little hints in his dreams too. Funny things. We're both getting funny things.
Right.
Is that what?
His higher self said, crisscross.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. Oh, I can't.
That is what he told me to say.
Oh, my gosh. I can only imagine what's going to happen. I can't. Oh, my goodness. I really like that you all do that, because we were just saying people would never think that, well, you know, I know it's his higher self, but people would never think that angels would bring through information that's
yes,
funny.
We have a humor, and most people don't think we have humor. Sometimes we do humor. His higher self is good at humor.
Oh, yeah.
I could have said the same thing, but it wouldn't have sounded as funny because I would have said it in a serious way.
Yeah.
He told me to say it that way. I would have just said crisscross.
Yeah.
And you would kind of know what I was talking about.
Right.
But he said it like it was supposed to be said. He said it with more feeling.
That is funny. Oh my goodness. That's also exciting.
Which the message with that was, he was trying to tell you that everything is starting to connect and everyone is starting to connect together.
That is true. We are all connecting. I hear myself talking to my friends in my sleep all the time.
Yes.
And it's fascinating how we are just, I guess, different facets. And was that my higher self, or was that, can you even explain it?
Most of that was you on your own. Your higher self was helping a little bit, but most of the things you're doing now are what you're doing on your own. Your higher self is helping with the funny stuff. Most of the things you're doing on your own without the help of your higher self.
It's just very interesting to listen to yourself talk, you know, and you're just listening, and
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, that's really cool. Let's see. Oh, another thing we noticed is we've had a lot of deja vu this week, what we call deja vu. And we talked about that a little bit in one of our classes, right? Is that always due to a, where they erase our memories, or can it be from other things?
That is when different timelines are starting to clash.
Yeah.
If you sound like you said something before, you did say it before, and something else happened after that, and it is to you, it feels like it is kind of a do-over.
Yeah. But
all of the timelines are, yes.
Okay.
All of the timelines are crisscross. So you are starting to do some things over and over, and some are brand new, but they seem like you're doing it over. It is very confusing, but that is what happened when the timelines clash. You might have done it already in another life.
Wow. Yes, saw a video and I said, "Oh, I remember that," and then I couldn't remember the memory, but I remembered the person. There was something with that in another life, I think. That's so fascinating. By the way, I have a weird thing on my arm that feels like there's a hole in it. Was there anything weird in my arm? Or is that just an aging thing? Or
in another dimension, you were implanted with something and it's clashing with this dimension.
I see, because I never felt this before.
And it was the gray beings that had something in your arm, and it has been taken out.
Okay.
They were a little messy with it. Usually they're pretty good at things like that, and you don't even see a scar, but it was a pretty big implant. It has been taken out. It is no longer needed.
Goodness. And the gray beings can be positive or negative, right?
Most of the gray beings are positive because they're trying to save their planet, and they're trying to manipulate their genes to look more like you, which they're getting better at it, and they're almost complete with doing all of that, so it won't be done for too much longer. They actually have people that look much like you, and they're trying to train them in their ways. And they, the gray beings that you see now, will slowly disappear. Any other beings that look more like you will take over with their duties. And
is that the hybrids or someone else?
You call them hybrids. But they won't call them hybrids anymore because they want them to be them. So they won't call them hybrids anymore. So the gray beings, it will be over a few million years, but by that time everything else will be unchanged. Even on this planet, nothing will be the same. You only see like a few of them way in the future. But they'll mostly look like you.
I've also been rereading Dolores Cannon's books. It's been a long time since I read those. And I've been reading the Convoluted Universe books, which really...
Oh, here she comes.
Oh, okay.
She's yelling at me. She's saying sorry about that. And I think she's saying a lot of the things she was saying when she was on life on your planet, where a lot of the stuff was wrong. And unfortunately, a lot of people are believing in most of it, but it can be corrected through other sessions when she will correct herself and say, okay, I didn't mean that way. Especially with the karma thing. She said she was terribly wrong with that. No one has to come back and live other lives and all of that stuff. That was not true.
Well, I can see if you're a new explorer and you're trying to wrap your head around it and you're used to trying to organize things into a structured way of thinking, I can see why that would happen.
Yes, yeah. She says exactly.
Okay. What I wanted to ask about really was, I understood that part, but she mentioned some beings coming here not through a regular birth process, through their soul will they'll put their body in a stasis, I guess, maybe on their ship or something, and then come in for a while into a body, maybe young, maybe old. Maybe they trade out with the person, maybe they do a soul braid with the person, and then, maybe they go back to their ship when it's over. Is that true?
Oh, yes. She's telling me that's partly true. They had bodies on the ship. They weren't necessary. Yes, I understand. She said they weren't. They were on the ship, but they were their minds were in bodies on Earth, but
okay.
they weren't necessarily being born on Earth. Like,
right.
they were literally just, they had the technology where they can go into other people's bodies and live.
Right.
Almost kind of like your higher selves do what you, but it was, they were still alive. They just had the technology where they can go into a body and make people do things.
Yeah.
Not evil things, just...
Not possession. She said that it was always at the agreement of the person allowing them to come in or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's really, really interesting because we think of going to the light and coming back and then...
Yes.
That's really
those
cool.
beings, yeah, that was different. Those beings had the technology to do that. So it really didn't have anything to do with anything. It wasn't even spiritual. That was just technology they had. Which they still have it, and they just do things like that sometimes.
Just to explore and
and she's also telling me that the reptilians have that technology, and they do evil things, which they spirit on with the religion stuff. They'll go into somebody's body and act crazy, and that's what you call possession, and they make them do all these crazy things, and they just want to make the spiritual part stronger to keep people in the spiritual thing, so a reptilian will get in somebody's body and just go crazy, and then they'll think they're getting possessed.
Right.
And she's also telling me that when you do your exorcisms, they leave the body by choice.
Yeah.
They don't do... She said the exorcism stuff is not... don't actually work. They just leave to make them believe that it works.
That it works.
Which makes the religion even stronger.
I figured that out or maybe my higher self told me that. But yeah, I had a feeling.
Yes.
Okay. That does make sense. But they can't get in unless, you have a low vibration, right?
Yes, the reptilians go in with the low vibrations, and that's when they have their fun with the body. And
because I have a friend who, someone told her that somebody said, "We're coming for you," and she was a little concerned about that. And I said, well, that sounds like a trick they would do just to make you scared.
Yes.
So they could get in.
That is exactly how it works.
Okay. Cool. That's good to know about. This is an interesting, well, for us, there's a show on TV called The Simpsons that's been running for years and years and years. And sometimes the stories that they tell will match something that happens on Earth, but not always. So I was thinking about that, and I thought, I wonder if they put all the timelines in there, and then they just kind of hit now and then, and everybody freaks out because they're like, how did The Simpsons know? Is that right?
Oh, yes. That is not a coincidence. That is actually one of the things on your planet that actually is real. They are getting in and getting people to realize what is going on. They are giving people hints of the future.
Why do they do that? Do they get pleasure from, like, taunting us a little bit with, like, oh, it's right in front of your face and you don't know? Or are they trying to help?
They are trying to help.
Oh.
It is not taunting, it is trying to help. And the evil powers that be are trying to control it. But they can't really control it. They could get the show canceled, but at the same time, some of the things that are happening in that show is going to their advantage because they're getting people to argue about it.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't want to believe it, and so far as they're concerned, as long as people arguing about it, it brings in negative energies. So they just keep it. If everyone believed in it, then they would have canceled it a long time ago.
I see.
If no one was arguing about it and everyone believed in it, then it would have been canceled a long time ago. But since people are arguing about it, and it's okay, we'll just keep it.
Yeah, I always wondered, why do they put those things in our media that are, almost like the truth in front of our face?
Because they are trying to get people awake. Because you do have free will, and even the evil beings know that Source is in charge, and they know the rules. they can't stop people's free will. They can't control everything.
Do the ones who are playing the negative roles ever put those things out in order to say, see, we're not messing with anybody's free will on the earth?
The negative beings are not putting it out. It's the positive beings that are doing it. The negative beings just go on negative energy. They don't necessarily have to put anything out because they know that most human beings are human and they're going to argue anyway. They don't have to do anything. They'll follow up on it to make it worse. If someone is being angry or something, they can make it worse. But they don't necessarily start anything to create negative energy because they know human beings are a little slow and they'll do it on their own. So they just wait for it to happen and they can give them more power and they can make it worse.
Yeah, I realized our whole lives we're so busy working and trying to survive that we don't even think about how things work. And so we don't have the time to sit and ponder, well, why is it this way? And we just get in an argument about it because everyone, okay, let's take politics. That's a touchy subject, but it's a great way to get people to fight. Because people don't go, well, how come there is politics anyway? Why are there two main groups? Why do I have to pick a side? They just go, oh, well, I'm going to pick a side. And then everybody fights. It's interesting how we don't catch on to those things.
That is the way they have it planned. Your politics is almost just as bad as religion because people pick sides. And it is your politics.
I notice.
And you have what you call candidates. They don't necessarily say much, but they kind of go at each other a little bit. And you have certain candidates. One recent, well, he used to be the president, but they like to cause meanness, and it kind of helps the negative. And it's only because of ego. All of it is driven by egos.
Yeah. Do they get any power when I know you've said that they're not the ones in power anyway. Do they think they're in power? Let's say the presidents.
They actually don't have much power at all. They have power to sign things, but they can't necessarily tell people that's under them what to do because the way your government is set up, you have to go through all of these intricate things just to get anything done. Even what you call your president has to go through a lot of things to get something done. He can't just tell somebody what to do and they would do it. It has to go through a whole lot of other things for it to get done. Therefore, the president is not the one in charge.
I just wondered if they ever thought they were in charge, like if they know there are people above them or not.
No, they know going in. They know how politics works, so they know going in there's not. They know that the American people think they're in charge,
right,
but they know they're not in charge.
Okay, so they know something.
So the American people need to wake up and realize that they are not in charge. That is why you got a lot of other countries don't like the American government because the other governments, whoever's in charge, they are in charge. They have to do whatever they say. The American government is the only one that's different because you have a Congress and what you call a Senate. Those two are the ones that are really in charge because if the president wants something, he has to go through them. And they create these things called bills and they have to get bills passed. The president has to go through them. Therefore, your president is not in charge.
But I'm sure if somebody above wanted to make a certain thing happen, they could override all of those people, right?
Yes, it will just happen. And then people will get mad because of where did this come from? Because there is no so-called bill for this, what is going on.
Interesting.
And usually when they want something done that way, is usually through some kind of catastrophe or something. Right. It will be something not good. Or if they want something good, it will be something really good and nobody knows where it comes from, and then the government will go scrambling to figure out how that good thing happened, and they will try to overturn it some kind of way.
Yeah, we were wondering if the presidents knew beforehand when certain catastrophes...
The presidents know nothing.
Okay.
They are not in charge.
So back when...
They are told things, and then they will put them in charge of it, but they never know what is going to happen beforehand.
Wow.
Because they are not in charge.
That makes sense. Okay. So back when that thing happened with the buildings going down, they didn't know that that was going to happen. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Some people think that was a hologram. I don't know if that's safe to talk about in a big, to a lot of people.
It is safe to say, because nobody's going to believe it.
Okay.
Your people on your planet don't believe anything if it's too outrageous, but it was not... What people saw was not what they saw.
Okay.
And yes, it was what you call holograms.
Okay.
Now, for instance, if it was holograms, people want to know what happened to the people on those planes. Because they had to go somewhere. Right. If they didn't all die in the planes, where are they?
That's right.
They are somewhere being controlled, being used for certain things that is not good.
This makes my heart kind of hurt, but I know they chose that, but still, it's very hard to think about that.
Yes, they did choose those lives to be in that before they went.
It would just be easier to think they had passed, almost.
Some have passed because they were used for things.
Right.
They were used for certain things. Yeah. And then some are still alive on other planets. Some are still alive on your planet. There are actually some that were taken, and when they got to a place where they knew they didn't supposed to be, some were actually excited because they were having hard lives. Yeah. And they were like, well, I'd rather do this.
Yeah.
And over half of them actually liked that that their families think they are gone and they are doing other things. Some are in space, some are in what you call the secret space force, some are going back and forth between planets. And they love it because they...
Wow. Was it because of their skill sets? Or...
No, they just happened to be on that plane at the time. And
okay. So all of the things we saw, even the other thing, the other building, well, the destruction happened a different way. Is that correct?
The only hologram that happened was with the planes. The other ones were just destruction, collapses, or... Yes, they were all connected, but the only holograms were the planes.
It's amazing how realistic, though, that looked. I guess that's a hint for possible future timeline.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Oh, the movie The Matrix, we talk about that a lot. There's one thing in The Matrix that always bothers me. I don't know if it's just the way they had to put the story together or what, but you know how they have them in the tubes with tubes and things connected to them, and they have them in this weird gel, and they have to get them out of that? I always wonder if that is a real thing that they do to us.
They do not do that to you. That is just how they make their clones. That is how clones are made. And then the clones come out and they walk amongst you.
Okay. And did you say they only make clones for certain people? Like, maybe well-known people?
Yes, they make them mostly for rich, for the rich and famous people, and they never make clones for ordinary people because they don't need to make clones for ordinary people because to them, ordinary people are not important.
Right. Okay.
They only make it for people that everyone sees on a global scale.
Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you about. Food. So there are weird things with the food lately. It seems worse than it was. Like, I noticed people were buying, for example, watermelons, and these watermelons were like exploding in weird things that watermelons should not do. And I understand things like them letting the fruit go bad or the food go bad, but what is with that? Are they putting anything inside it, or is that just...
They're putting things in all of your food. You have to be careful what you eat. Most of the things they're putting in your food is not things that'll kill you really fast. It has always been things that slowly deteriorates the body, which makes people get the thing you call cancer most of the time.
Is that, as I understand it, a combination of those toxins, let's call them, and then our emotional state as well?
Yes, because there are some people that can eat those foods and nothing ever happens to them because they are a happy person.
Okay. So
they knew that certain things they put in foods they got from other beings, and mostly reptilians, because they knew reptilians are the ones that knows about that stuff. The reptilians know that the things they put in your food is not necessarily the things that kills you. It is you that kills you, because they like, okay, we put this in here. If they're angry, then what we put in the food will grow and it will kill them.
Right.
So it ain't necessarily what they put in the food killing. It's actually you killing yourself, because you either get depressed, really sad. It's not necessarily anger that kills you. It is the sadness and the anger that kills you. You can also be sad, and it will get inside your body if you're sad as well. So actually, sadness and anger is the two things that can kill you.
That makes a lot of sense. Or any emotions that you stuff down, I guess, and don't clear.
Yes.
Or even emotions from a past lifetime. Although I don't see as much of that anymore. Are we getting those things cleared up? Kind of or I should say the parallel lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you come to your new life, every now and then you have something bad happen. But the source is telling me it would not be fair for you to get cancer from something that happened in another life. That will not cause you to get cancer. Only new things that happen in your life will cause a cancer. Because source says he didn't make you that way. It would not be fair for you to get cancer from something that happened in another life. That is not fair. The only thing that causes cancer is new things that you let bother you in your new life.
Well, that makes sense. That's interesting, because I had a past life where I had, tightness in that area where I had the cancer. Was that at all a connection? Or?
It was, in your past life was in that area. But yours was kind of a coincidence that your cancer was in that area, because but then when you found out that you had something in your past life there, it could have made your cancer worse, but you made it better because you realized something, and you actually overcame it, and it made you get rid of your cancer. Now some people might know that, and they will use that as a clutch to play victim, and it will make the cancer worse in the area, instead of them saying, okay, I can beat this because I figured out it was from another life. Some people will use that as a pity party crush, and they use it as to play victim, and oh, I'm sick, I had this in another life. So you're just gonna make that happen in this life as well, instead of fighting it. And yes, that is the way people do on your planet sometimes.
Do they sometimes plan it that way? They just want to experience what it's like to feel sorry for themselves, or in a state of pity? Or,
yes, and that is the way they want to die sometimes, which some people don't understand why you pick that life, but it's just an experience that you pick.
Yeah. That's always hard for, when you're doing healing with someone and they've chosen that and they don't catch on, because it's as much the other person as it is the person facilitating it.
Yes.
I did wonder, though, why did Dolores have so many instant healings? Was that because she was sort of famous and I don't want to lead you, but I wonder.
No, she's yogging me saying she's saying the reason why those were instances because those people knew what they were doing and they believed in what she was saying, so they healed faster.
They believed.
It has nothing to do with her. She did what she's supposed to do, and they did what they're supposed to do. Therefore, they healed faster, and they believed what she was telling them.
Well, I thought maybe they believed she was so skilled that sort of helped it too.
Well, that is part of it as well.
Yeah.
You can have people that say they believe you, and you do it, and it won't work, but they're really lying to you, and they don't believe you, so it doesn't work.
Right. But she got kind of famous, and so to see this great healer, people were probably like, I'm going to heal, and then they do it.
That is the way it works.
That's cool. Well, okay. Good to know. Thanks, Dolores. Thank you for that. Let's see. Oh, you know how you told me about the heart-to-heart healing? I'd like to start teaching people that. Is that a thing you can teach people?
Yes, you can teach that.
Okay.
Because that is not a gift. Everyone should be able to heal. You can teach people to heal.
So that's more the heart-to-heart healing versus the diamond light language. Diamond light language is just us doing some layered light language for someone, where the heart-to-heart healing is like doing the light language, maybe me with someone, and then it seems like we talk and both of us are connected because we both get answers during the chat.
That is exactly right.
Okay.
That is the way you should do it.
Okay. Because I was thinking of starting to teach that. I love how happy it makes people feel too.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, awesome. I'm going to save some of these for the class. But I noticed that, okay, you know how oh, well, this brings up another thing. I don't even know if I want to go here, but do you remember when you told Travis and me that we were what they call twin flames? Is that really what you guys call it? Or, I mean, what is it on your side?
We call it identical souls here, but you can call it twin flames. Twin flames is actually a nice word for it. We kind of like that.
Some people on the earth say that it's really, really hard to have a twin flame relationship, but for us it's very easy.
Not everyone meets their twin flame.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but you were lucky enough to find yours.
I was lucky.
It doesn't happen for everyone, but it doesn't matter because it makes them feel good, and we like that. If that's what they want to believe, then they can believe that.
Okay.
The only way you know you met your twin flame is if you can be around them all the time and never get tired of them, then that is your twin flame. If you are with someone and you say you got to have a break, that is not your twin flame. You can still love someone and not want to be around them all the time. That's fine. Yeah. But if you do not want to be around, if you get tired of being around supposed to be your spouse, that is not your twin flame. Okay. You got to want to be around them all the time and never get tired of it.
That's what I wondered, because that's how we are. We don't. Well, they said sometimes their twin flame will run or something, and I thought that's the complete opposite of how we are. It's very peaceful.
Yes.
We want to be around each other all the time, even working all the time. We never want to be apart, ever, really.
And that is the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So, if you're with someone and you have to have a break from them or something, that is not your twin flame. But that does not mean you don't love them. You can love them to death.
Right.
But you're not twin flames. You are only twin flames if you can be around them 24/7 and never get tired of being around them.
Okay.
That is a twin flame.
Okay.
That is your identical soul.
I think I asked you how we were created, and you said, well, we just said be twin flames, but is there anything special about identical souls? How they're created, or not really?
No, they are created the same. They just happen. They signed up to want to be with each other at some point on Earth.
Okay.
Sometimes twin souls are not even married. Twin souls can be best friends as well. If someone has a best friend their whole life, the whole life, that was their twin soul.
Well, I have a best friend like that. So do we have sometimes more than one twin flame?
No, that is not your twin soul. You're thousands of miles apart.
Well, I love her my whole life, my friend. Is that more like just a soulmate, just a really special friend?
She is part of your soul family.
Okay.
But twin souls are really close. If someone has a best friend and they live next to each other pretty much all the time, their whole life, or very close together, that is a twin soul.
Okay.
Twin souls cannot be thousands of miles apart.
Can't be separated. That's true.
Because you're living two separate lives. Twin souls almost live the same life, even if they're living with someone else in another home, but they're still fairly close together. And they talk to each other or see each other every day.
Yeah.
That is a twin soul.
Okay. Thank you for that. So that brings me to the whole tantric sex thing that we were talking about. And I think that really helps with manifesting. You know, how we are able to do that, or we have that gift, or whatever it is. But you talked about how people who don't have a soulmate or twin flame can have like a solo tantric, well, you know, La Flora, we called it in the class, or you called it. How does that work for people as something tantric that they can use to manifest with? Or does it work that same way?
Anytime you do the thing that you call your masturbation, that is tantric sex. No matter how you do it, anytime you do masturbation on yourself, is tantric sex. Okay.
So that could be just the way we manifest with tantric sex. Other people can do that.
Yes.
Okay. Nobody talks about this, so, you know, I know so many people who want to manifest things. The light language is one way to do it. But then there's also this.
Yes, light language is the best. Because when most people do masturbation, they're really not concentrating on other things. They're not concentrating on getting more money when they're masturbating. They need a release.
Yeah.
And that helps them release pent up frustration. And then after that, if they do light language or manifest, then they'll get more clarity on what they were thinking about. Most people don't do that after they masturbate. They usually just pass out or rest or whatever.
Okay. That's good to know, because, you know, these people want to manifest better things in their lives.
Yes.
So that is wonderful to know. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, I've been seeing some weird sparkles in my vision. Well, they're not weird, they're pretty. Does that just have to do with gifts? Is there anything special that I'm seeing?
It is a few enhancements on your gifts.
Oh.
As far as being able to see certain things in different dimensions, or
cool,
just different manifestations where you can see certain things in other dimensions, or with other people, to help other people.
Okay. And I notice sometimes it seems like I can see through my eyelids.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is part of it. You will be able to see through your eyelids.
That's amazing. There's another girl who's seeing, it's almost like she's seeing through the matrix. Like things look sort of wavy or not solid. And that's how she described it anyway. Is that what's happening to her?
Yes, that is partly seeing through the matrix.
Oh, that's cool.
It will get stronger when she'll be able to see all the way through the matrix, and then she'll really see some good things.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, she's going to be excited. Oh, that's cool. There are so many people getting gifts, and I see people waking up who are completely religious, absolutely, deep in that, and all of a sudden they're just waking up. So it's exciting how many people are waking up right now.
That is the way it works.
Oh, I know one thing I want to ask you about. So somebody posted something in an awakening group about the Earth's splitting and people being left behind on the old Earth. And I said, that's not how you had explained it to me. Can you tell the people out there a little bit about how the new Earth will happen? Will it be a splitting at all?
Do they mean the Earth physically splitting, or do they mean as far as souls splitting?
They mean the Earth sort of becoming like two Earths. In the picture, it looked like two Earths, and it looks like one is sort of pulling away from the other one, like almost like they're stuck together, but they're pulling apart. And then the thing under it said, the time is coming where the new Earth is coming, and some people will go, and some people will be left behind on the old Earth. And I know that probably panicked a lot of people. So I said that's not what, I didn't think that was how it worked, but it'd be nice to just go over that again.
No, that is not the way it's going to work.
Okay.
She's getting her visuals mixed up. It is not going to split. You can see it as the Earth splitting, but it's basically when the flash comes and people get sent to the ships so they can be retransformed for the people that are already on the Earth that had transformed into the light.
Yeah.
That is what that is about. That is not about the Earth splitting and people get... No one is going to be left behind. She is seeing a visual of people. She has it backwards, actually. The people that are being left behind are the people that are full of light. They are being left behind on the planet that are already full of light. And the people being took away are the ones that are going to be on the ships, being transformed so they can be brought back down to the people that have the light. And they will have light as well. So she is seeing it backwards.
Okay.
She has turned it into something fearful when it is not.
Will we even know those people went to the ships? Or was there something about time being adjusted or bent, or maybe not even here anymore?
Time is going to be adjusted for the people on the ship, because the people that left behind know there won't be any time. So the people that get took up to the ship will be transformed so they can be brought back down to the people that they love, and they won't know that time has even passed.
Will the people who are on the Earth miss them, or will they even know they left? Or will they know that they're somewhere and they're fine and they'll be back?
The people that are light on the planet will be full of light and happy, so they're not going to miss anyone.
Okay. So they'll probably know that it's going to be okay, and
yes, they will automatically know that it is okay.
Yeah.
And there won't be any sadness on your planet. Everyone will be happy, so there not going to be any negative on the planet. So
yeah, people are just so scared about it,
yes,
and worried about what could happen and things like that.
it will be almost like it's supposed to be when you pass over. It is every man for himself. When you die by yourself. You don't take no one with you. So it's the same thing when the flash comes. When the flash comes, you automatically be turned into light, and you won't even miss anyone around you, because it is still every man for himself. They will remember who were with them. So when the other person comes back down, they will be like, oh, you're finally back. And they'll be happy with them.
Okay, perfect. And there's no soul trap. You've told me many times.
No.
We were watching some show. I forget if it was Mars or if it was the Earth, where they were showing this box. And they said that box is the soul trap that was created by I don't know who. I don't remember. But they said that's the box that created the soul trap. And people that are sort of famous, who've written books about, all of this stuff, are like, yes, that's the box. Do you know what that box is?
There's no such thing as a soul trap, and that is totally false. That does not exist.
Did someone make that up?
Yes.
Okay. But that box thing, is that just like a building or something?
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Okay. Perfect. That's about it. We were watching one channeler, and he said that there's something, I don't know what this means, something about January, February, and March of next year, some kind of opportunity for mankind.
Oh, yes.
Was that good information?
Yes, it is good information,
Okay.
because something is coming and is going to change the way everyone thinks.
So that is real.
Yes.
Okay. And he said it's because of what will happen at the end of 2024 that little window or whatever it is.
Yes.
What did he say? An energy vortex. Is there any way to describe it?
There is something coming close to the end of the year.
Yeah.
On your timeline, there is something coming close to the end of the year, and it would spill over into next year.
I see. And we'll have choices to make during that time. Is that basically?
Yes, and most people will be happy about it. And of course, you will have the ones that are afraid because it's different. But they'll get used to it, and they will get used to it, and everything will be okay.
The only other thing was my friend's cats. My friend Lisa Christensen has a couple of cats. One is named Fizz. Her husband said maybe he was getting ready to pass over. She was wondering about that.
Yes, it is best to just take care of it. It is. It is preparing to leave.
Okay.
And it is best just to let it leave on its own.
On its own, not.
We do not really condone the way people do.
Oh, the thing that we think that we're doing to help them pass over.
Yes.
Okay.
It is best just to let them. The only time Source condones that is if the pet is really loud and it is screaming all the time. That's when you know it is really in pain. But if it is not making any noise, then it is best just to let it go on its own.
In a natural way.
Yes. Because it is not up to you to decide when they pass over.
Yeah, we think we're doing them a favor by sparing them suffering.
Yes, because sometimes light language will make them live longer. It might even heal them. They will still pass over at some point. But light language can heal them and at least give them more comfortable for when they pass away.
So, would you even take a cat to a vet ever? Because you've told us that they do self-healing.
You can take them to those doctors because they will tell you some things that can help. Just don't take them there to help them pass away.
Okay. And the shots they give them?
The pets, the doctors that do pets for shots are not harming the pets.
Oh.
Those doctors are actually better than human doctors.
Wow.
Because those doctors actually want to help pets. Wow. Human doctors are totally different, unfortunately. your what you call vets are the better doctors, because they really want to help pets.
Wow.
They do nothing to harm animals.
So when they get shots as babies, say kittens or puppies, those shots don't hurt them?
No.
Okay, that's good to know. That is really good to know, actually.
Because the beings that try to control humans don't care about pets. They're just pets. They don't have no reason to destroy pets. That is why animal doctors are the best, because those are the only doctors that are true doctors, because they really want to help animals, because they love animals.
Do you remember my cat Finny, when I was taking him to the doctor because I thought he was suffering? And I think you said it might have done more harm than good. Is that right?
Yes, because those medicines that you were giving him at the time were not meant to be. He didn't need those medicines, so it made things
Was it mainly the medicine, or was it also like I think we were doing the injections so he'd have fluids in his body?
The injections were good. The only medicines were not good were the so-called antibiotics.
Oh.
He did not need those.
Oh, okay.
The shots were good enough. That doctor and that vet was overly cautious, so he gave him too much medicine.
Oh, I see. Okay. And I probably was too at that time because I didn't know anything.
Yes, but at the time, your pet was really old, so he was getting close to passing on his own. Probably, as we say, a couple more years before he passed. So he would have lived a couple more years, but he would have passed in a couple more years anyway.
Okay.
And then now he is inside of your new cat, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. That's great. That is great. Okay. Oh, her other cat has, a goopy eyes and nose. Is there anything she should do for that cat? Lucy is the name of that cat.
Yes, do light language on him.
Light language, perfect. Yes, and she just activated. She just started speaking light language.
Yes, and she is going to get better at it the more she does it.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's all I have for today, pretty much. I know there will be more questions in the group on Sunday, so I wanted to sort of get these out of the way. Is there anything you would tell people right now? I know lots of people are going through financial struggle. All kinds of things.
It is very important for them to stay positive and do light language and stay positive. Everything will turn around eventually. It is not good to wallow in your pain and feel sorry for yourself. You have to work. You have to stay positive and do light language and keep things going positive your way. And it will happen.
And there was something you said in our class about how we could possibly change timelines if we think of the worst outcome possible. Yes. So
you can change timelines if you think positive all the time.
Okay.
And everything will go your way.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a big thing right now. If people were not scared or, fearful of all this stuff coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I have 2 more questions I just remembered. Do we have time for 2 short questions? Or does he need to come back? Okay. Will there be 3 days of darkness? Or can you tell me? I think that's a Bible thing.
No, there will not be 3 days of darkness.
Okay. And I've asked you this one time before, but we didn't really go into any detail. I don't know if there's any detail to go into. But that whole thing about 144,000, that number, that people talk about, and there are all different kinds of reasons that people have for that number being meaningful. Is that a meaningful number for anything?
For the people that made it up, it is.
Okay.
Therefore, it does not mean anything to anyone else.
But it was a made-up number that got, I guess it's in the Bible. Is that right? I think
Yes.
so. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's just a made-up... I think what you told me was just somebody made it up.
A lot of things in that book is made up.
Yeah. What's interesting, though, is in the class, you've told us that some of the things that are true, so it's very interesting to learn, which things are true and which things are not and all that.
A lot of the things that are true in your Bible, most of the things are the basic things that are being done in the Bible.
Mm.
Some of the things that are magical are things that were from other beings, and they call them angels.
Yeah.
Most of the things that involve angels is true, but it was mostly other beings on other planets.
Okay.
But anything that sounds evil
Mm-hmm.
or scary is pretty much false. Or anything separating people from other people is not real.
So the book of Revelations, I believe, is the one that talks about the end of the world and all that. Is that one just to scare people, mainly?
The way they wrote it was to scare people,
Mm-hmm.
but that is not the way it's going to happen. Most of the Revelations is talking about the Flash, but they wrote it so bad that it scares people.
Oh. So they took something positive and made it all sound all scary?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can talk about that more in class or something. I don't know. I don't know if there's more to talk about because I haven't read Revelations in a long time, but...
Yeah, pretty much anything that sounds scary is not real. Some of the catastrophes actually happened that are in the Bibles are real. The floods were real. There were big catastrophes that were written in the Bible that were real. But most of the evil stuff that has anything with demons, some of the demon stuff was real because reptilians came into the bodies and made people do some of this stuff.
Okay.
You have to really think about what you're reading to decipher what's real. That is what's so messed up about your religion, because some is real, some isn't, and you can't really tell them apart.
Yeah.
It makes them hard to tell apart what is real and what is not real,
Yeah.
which makes religion even stronger because people do not know.
Right. Because I noticed some things in my religion, they probably helped me to, in some way, but then the other things did not help me at all. And so it is just very confusing. But, yeah, that's good to know.
And then maybe sometime in the future, if you want us to ask which things are real or not real, then we can tell you.
Oh, I'd love to do
If
that.
you like to pick some things out, okay, was this real? We'll tell you if it was real, if it was not.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Uriel. Thank you for coming through today. I think that's probably good.
And I will regret.
All right. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. It is Sarah again. If you ever make it to the very end, there's usually a little ad here done by Travis. But today I wanted, again, to just remind you about the class on Sunday, because I think it's really important that some of these connections be made. They really are special, and I know the people that we've already met are supposed to be there. So if your higher self is telling you, hey, maybe you should go to this, feel free to reach out and ask me anything you want to about it, and I'll talk to you about it. And there are probably even people from the class that would tell you about it. But I just wanted to remind you before you go about that. I'm going to do a little bit of light language to close this out. All right, here we go. 내다또서 셔가만히사 인데버거 일노스고 슈메리게 이스바다 돈세문 슈메르고 وسوا کارشم ایسکی ایگا مقوی نمرت سیکشن سفاقا و تشتوان مرشکانس که اترلم دوسیه مرشه سفاقا و سوشه فکانم روسکوتینکا eleman po inskos ke ota vaka oishuvoko hiso vaka mai menano no lewe mai keshotkos seva sosi vishiske manano Lemanasko Savagaba Savazika und the Oshimismika Ushima Uliman Kasha Sisavakushum Skushkabo Wama Uli Yosivashmiski Esove Lamada Kasa in Simanosha Voshojeskia Atala Alemasha Yuaka Siwa Kososo Vushusima Mugaisike Insimarishke etamaretsa wasuksho intolagare yesusavkushamugo mutsugusi vishivaka namarisa antiandasi shishavagasukoshimi alamaroshkana. Alright guys, that's pretty short, but I don't want to keep you, so have a good rest of your day and hope to see you on Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.